Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. This is my Finish It Friday video for Friday, May 24th, 2024. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. I have a lot of fun things that have been going on this week, and I am excited to share them with you. A couple of things are away from the camera right now. So first we'll go upstairs and check out my progress on the Type It quilt. Here is one thing that I'm really excited about for this week. I decided to cut the sides off of my Type It quilt. Well, I only cut one side off, the uneven side, and then I've stitched a 1/8 inch seam around the entire thing. This weekend it is going down to South Georgia so that we can sign it for my little sister as her graduation present. Then I'm going to bring it back up here and get everything quilted and bound for her. I started working on the binding here. I'll zoom in on the side. I took the part that I have cut off and I've started making a flange binding. This is going to be the larger portion of the flange, and then the flange is probably going to be a light gray if I have enough of it in my stash. I've cut 1 3/8 inches off of this, and I'm still working on it. That's why I have this in here on the floor, because I'm working on the binding on it right now to see how big it is and to make sure that it's big enough to go all the way around. This quilt, even though I like the way it looks, it did get a little bit warped, and the top is a little bit bigger than the bottom. I don't know how well that comes through on camera, but there's some really interesting waves in this quilt that are definitely going to need to be quilted out. What I hope is that it'll quilt out enough that it'll be kind of even. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that can really happen. But I'm hopeful with the long arm that it'll at least flatten it, and then I'll be able to make a better judgment once it's time to cut those edges off. But I love the look of this quilt. To me, it looks really cool with this red and black and gray. I love how it's dark at the top and bottom and lighter in the middle. And I think it's going to be a great quilt for her. Can't wait for her to see it tomorrow. I have the Scrappy Bricks quilt loaded onto the long arm. It is ready for me to start quilting. I even have everything clamped down, and you can see it clamped right there, and it is basted. I am currently preparing my pantograph to go up here so that I can start quilting it next week. Here is the thread color that we're going to be using. It's called Mint, and it's kind of a light teal, I guess, light bluish greenish. I think it's going to look really great with both the front of the quilt and the back of the quilt. Here is a preview of the quilt pattern that I'm going to use. It's called ATV, and it's two. You can see the four-wheelers that are going to be featured on this design. And I actually have the quilt upside down, so I'm going to be quilting it this way. Since I'll be on the back of the quilt, I'll be quilting it right side up. I think it's going to be really awesome. Can't wait. But I currently am putting this paper pantograph together, and I am making videos for the process of loading this quilt onto the long arm and for preparing that pantograph. So stay tuned to the channel. Those videos should be coming up pretty soon. But I'm really happy to finally have this up on the long arm, ready to see it all quilted. The only thing now is to actually get it quilted. In addition to the quilt upstairs and the quilt on the long arm, I am also really happy that I finished a wall hanging. I actually started this wall hanging 3 years ago. I had to look back in my YouTube videos to see when I started this process. And it's a really simple wall hanging. Here it is right here. It is pretty cute. I'm going to come in close just a little bit so that you can see these little cats. I think they're really funny. And the pattern for this block is called Goose Tracks. And I've seen a different Goose Tracks block, but this one came from my Block a Day book, which is right here. This book has 365 quilting squares for patchwork inspiration. That's what it says. And I made a video a few years ago where I picked out a random block, and this was the block, and I made this little wall hanging out of it. And I finally finished the binding on it. So that's what I've been working on. If you saw my quilting go bag video, this was the project that I had just put in there. And now it is completely bound. I'll show you the back as well. And you can see it has two little rod pockets. I hope these are big enough to hang. I haven't decided where I might want to hang it, but I really like it. And the more I look at it, the more I like it. I just used some simple purples and I matched it with this little kitty cat fabric. For the most part, the fabric is directional, but there are a couple half square triangles that it's not, but I'm not going to let that bother me. It's just nice to have another finish with this thing waiting on me all this time. It's really worth it to have it done. So really excited about that. It looks cute. I should put it back here. And there we go. I'm happy with it. I do need to put it in the washer. I think I'll wash it just to see if it shrinks up a little bit. I don't know. The only other thing that I have going right now, I'm itching to sew, but I'm kind of in between things right now. So I've been working on, I have a bear order, and I've been working on the interfacing. It's just for 2 bears. So this is one of the shirts. The other shirt I'm still interfacing right now. So hopefully within the next week, I can definitely start getting those bears sewn. I also am looking forward to quilting that Scrappy Bricks quilt, trying out that new design, seeing how it works. And I'm still working on preparing my goals for the summer. Not sure about exactly how I want to do that. And I have not sat down with myself to really come up with something that that I want to work toward. If there is anything that you want to see during these summer months, I would love to know what they are. Leave them in the comments, and I will definitely look into creating some videos with these different things. It's been a fun week. I did put my great-grandmother's quilt back in my go bag, so this is going to be a hand project that I'm definitely going to work on in the summer. One of you suggested for my light to get a book light. And when I looked on Amazon, I realized that I already have one of these. It was given to me years ago. And so I had it, and I've actually been using it a little bit when I was out and about sewing. I'm also excited about all of the new subscribers that I've gotten in recent weeks and months.